ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Okay, week 4. Time flies when having fun. Up until now, hopefully, we've learnt a few things in terms of the theme, which is around being happy. So we started off with gratitude. Our gratitude towards the things that we've got, and there's some important points in that we've got to. I'll touch on a couple of other bits here today about why we kind of expand ourselves above our needs or our means. In terms of ego is the most deadly thing in terms of our existence here. And that's the thing that we're trying to destroy with all our bhakti. Last week we covered the mind, the 4 sections, man, chit, buddh, the home. So the mind being the thought process, the chit being the feelings and the memory, the buddhi being the intelligence, and that's what we call hirda as well, and the home, which is the 4th part. So we're supposed to be using those 3 sections to destroy that home, and what you'll find is that mind is running away, it's doing all sorts of things, but it's been preconditioned with so many things that we have got control of, in terms of we know where those thoughts are coming from, but there's a whole section of thoughts that we don't know where they're coming from, and that is what scientifically you might call subconscious mind. But there's other elements in there that make us perform certain actions. That's not available to us through our regular thinking. That's only available to us when we start understanding what the Guru is asking us to do, and hence some of the topic that we're going to cover today, which is around truthfulness and truth. Now, our general thing about truth is a basic thing, is just like, might be speaking truth or earning an honest living. That's what we say in Sikhi, that in Sikhism one of the key things is about earning an honest living. Now that's fine, and it's as good as a concept, but by the end of this lecture, hopefully you'll have another dimension on the end of that it isn't just about Sachadikirt. That doesn't make a truthful person on its own. It's a big section of it. We can't say percentage-wise what it is, but hopefully we'll get a good understanding by the time we've gone through today's topic. Now, just to stay, before we head into that topic of truth, I want to talk about the negative effects on happiness. Now, the whole world is running after this happiness thing, and some of these things, even if we read Gurbani, some of these are aligned to that. So do not care too much what other people have and are doing. Main problem we've got in general society, Punjabi society is really bad for this, is like, what's the other person doing? Whatever they got, I want that, this, and that's a very, very bad mari cheeza. And in Gurbani, when we hear Farid Ji's Bani, Farid Ji slok, Farid Ji says, Farida, rukhi sukhi khaye ke thanda pani pi, dekh parai chopdi na tarsaiye jeev. Now Farid Ji saying, if you're getting cold water and your roti or your chapati is sukhi, it hasn't even got butter on it, he goes, khala, don't worry about it. He goes, don't look at the next person, it's chopdi hua. You don't make your mind down because you see someone who's got something slightly better than you. That reason for that, why Farid Ji saying that, is in terms of a bhakt, a person who's doing Sikhi, who's doing bhakti, as soon as you start doing that, mind, there's four sections we were talking about last week, they get corrupt. Or corrupt way, and there, the buddhi, in terms of your intelligence, starts saying, right, that's good, it justifies it, it's a good thing. Chit starts saying, oh, the chit lagda, bani with ni chit lagda. In other words, in your day-to-day simran, your day-to-day routine, your day-to-day love of Vaheguru dies. That's fact. And then once that diminishes, that other thing grows. So the first thing is, whatever the people have got, there could be 1,000,001 reasons why we are how we are. There could be 1,000,001 reasons why they are. But Guruji is saying, you have to accept Guru's hukum as really beautiful. Second thing is, do not be obsessed with perfection or always getting the best option. Now sounds like being a perfectionist is a good thing, but sometimes a very, very bad thing as well. If we always say, my car's got to be better than theirs, my job's got to be better than theirs, my living's got to be better than theirs, the way I present myself's got to be better than theirs, the way I live, all of that leads to problems as well. There's a thing about accepting who you are. That's a high level of happiness is in that. And sometimes we want to change ourselves for what we are because of what someone else is doing or thinking. And that bottom line of being a good person or being happy is the thoughts in your head don't affect the way I live. And that's how we should be thinking. The thoughts in someone, unless the thoughts you're feeling, you're doing something wrong and they're thinking like that, that's different. But if you are a certain person, you're made in a certain way, you are what you are, the thoughts in someone else's head, nothing to do with you. That's sometimes we say, when we talk about racism, we talk about sexism, we talk about all sorts of other isms, it's usually the problems in the other person. And so when we look at what someone else is thinking, doing, whatever they are, and we're trying to be something that just because someone else wants us to be, that's not the right way to live. So try to accept a good enough approach in your life. Sometimes, if we've got a certain way we're living, a certain house, we don't live all our life saying, I've got a 4-bedroom, now I want a 6-bedroom, then I've got a 6-bedroom, now I want a 9. If you still live in our life like that, that's not, that's always an effect on remember, the basis of unhappiness is wanting something that you haven't got. That's the basis of it. So when we keep chasing, you're always going to be unhappy. Stop comparing what you have with other people, with what other people have. Sometimes lowering your expectations. When we expect too many things and they don't happen, that leads to problems. If all our expectation is, if you read Gurbani, Guruji's expectations, if you read Bhagavatam Bani, what's a Bhagat want? If you read Tanna Ji's Bani, Tanna said, Dal Sita Mango Kiyo, Hamara Khushi Kare Nadjiyo, Paniya Shadan Nika, Naj Mango Sat Sika, Go Pass Mango Laveri, Tajan Turi Changeri, Karki Kihan Changi Jan Tanna Leve Mangi. Gopal Tera Arta, Jo Jan Tumri Bhagat Karante, then get Kaj Swarta. What did he ask for? He says, Dal, Sida Mango Kiyo. He goes, I want some dal, in other words, pulses, lentils, and butter. Hamara Khushi Kare Nadjiyo. If I get Paniya Shadan Nika, Anaj Mango Sasika, he goes, Sone Jutti Chaidiya. Because I need nice pair of shoes that don't, so that my feet don't go. He didn't want to ask you for designer shoes. Saying I need a pair of shoes so that my feet don't hurt when I'm walking. He says, if I get a different dal every day and I don't get anything else to eat, I'm happy. Gopes, Mongola Veri, he goes, if I can have a cow and have a little bit of milk, that's enough for me. Ek tajan turi changeri, kar ki ki hana changi, janatan na leve mangi. So tajan turi changeri is a nice pair of shoes. And he says, if my partner is a nice partner, he goes, then I'm really happy. So that's what he asked for from God. What are we asking for from God? Bhagavatam, when we look at what the Bhagavad is asking for, and Kabirji Shabd is very similar as well. When you look at what Bhagavad is asking, what we're asking for, Sada is up here, big tear, laya si. The Bhagavad, they're just down, and now when I'll do Bhagavati, then I'm really happy. But that's the difference. You know? So enjoy what you have. Stick to what you have chosen, especially small things. Now, limit your choices when you can. Just that part there about limiting choices. They say they've done some research. So the person, if when you're about to buy something, this is our personality. If when you're about to buy something, you can't make your decision between 7 things. Usually that's an issue. And if you're a limiter, that's a maximizer. Then you limiter. A limiter is someone who just says, right, I've got these 2 choices. I'm going to make it that one, and don't think about it again. That's generally a pretty happy person. That's a general statement there. But it's a pretty happy person. A person's always going, oh, I should have bought that one. Oh, Damn, and that's it, that's another sign of our unhappy, our mind running about doing silly things. Once you made your decisions in your life, get over it. Carry on. That's what you've done. But sometimes, I mean, we do all this, and I've got an interesting slide next actually. Sometimes we do this with our partners. We do with our the choices we've made there. And unfortunately, you can't do it with your family. You're kind of born in that one. But we do silly things. Now, I want you to look at this bit. This is part of a rare book that we're going to be releasing shortly, if it doesn't end up like Sikhi Mat. Your marriage. Now, this is one page on that marriage, and this is only one section of it. So there's multiple. It's going to cover everything from all the way from basic rayat, Amr Shagna, up to all the different things in life. But one section is marriage. I want to share this part.